Hello, and welcome to another chapter of a tome pulled right off the shelves at the heart of the Jakuls. As always, I'm your proficient host, Lothrin, and there's ever so much more data to relay. So let's get to it, shall we? Go grab a filling meal, settle into a cozy spot, and pay accurate attention to Fleet Part 41, a dreary welcome. I thought you said the weather was nice. Vilivin gazed up at the winding path through the mountain hills, streams, near sheets of water cascading across the landscape, forming rivers gouging the cold hard stones, spewing waterfalls over every centimeter of cliff present to be viewed. Cam looked up into the forest. The towering, brooding trees clustered near one another, howling winds thrashing with the ancient, fibrous tops, water practically spraying into the open bay of the javelin. Much nicer than I've ever seen it before. Cam nodded as if to assure Vilivin's fears before he left. Nicer than you've ever seen it before, Vilivin exclaimed as another engineer threw his gear out into the abysmal downpour. Get out, Cam gestured into the whirling, hateful winds. But I wasn't prepared for that. Vilivin tried to stall the start of his journey. Look, the Vryn will attack us if we sit here too long. They're brutal, and they hate the weak. Well, they hate pretty much everyone, but the weak the most, and taking too long makes you weak. You have the map and as much gear as we could develop. Good luck. Cam gestured to the pair of soldiers who escorted Vilivin out into the horrific storm, before launching back into the air and disappearing from sight several moments later. Well, I guess I'm fucked now, Vilivin said to himself. Vilivin hid his eyes from the flash of lightning striking in a nearby valley. So close he had to brace his legs against the force of the sudden wind sweeping across the ground, trying desperately to hurl his body into one of a dozen crevasses all around him. He winced, feeling as if someone had just punched him in the gut. Stumbling back toward his gear, Vilivin adjusted his wide-brimmed hat, staring up at the winding trail ahead of him. Nothing for it but to start moving. Vilivin focused on putting one foot in front of the other and walking onward against the furious winds scraping down at him. The path was arduous, unrelenting. Vilivin had to struggle and fight for every meter up and sometimes back down the winding, twisting trail. The trees crowded against him, making some easier slopes choking and disastrously difficult to clamber up or down. Other times the hills were barren and he had to crawl on his hands and knees, practically drowning in the torrential downpour, hauling himself in his gear for every last centimeter that he could wrest from the mountain's control. Finally exhausted, unsure of what time it was or how much time was left before nightfall, Vilivin crawled into a random cavern, shivering against the rivers of water cascading down across the open maw of hard, cold stone.
That took you a while.
Vilivin whipped around, his hands in the pack he'd just taken off, even more to his shock than no one being there, the voice being a hallucination in his mind. In reality, a figure sat in the shadow of the cave, light pouring in through the water, diffused assuredly, but still marking the bottom half of the man, and his hexagonally red-scaled feet, bearing no toes at all, apart from his hands and the very bottom of his bare stomach. The rest of the being was cloaked in black, concealing shadows.
Some of my siblings are testing your friends, not as many of them as there used to be. We weren't informed of your arrival. Don't move.
Vilivin froze as his hand grabbed the tinder kit within his bag.
I'll take care of that. The man held forth a single finger, dark blue energy circling around the tip of the digit, barely enough to hint at the strange skull of the man comforted by the shadows. He stabbed the finger with force and intent into the hard stone, piercing it as if it were liquid. and then the cave slowly became warm. Your ilk will not be able to receive you, even if they pass our test.
Vilivin could feel the confidence of this being sitting across from him, beneath the man's voice, beneath his thoughts, beneath his flesh and blood, boiling somehow at the very center of his psyche. Confident, radiant power. It emanated from him, across the small space separating both men.
So the great Cam Novir sent you to learn from us. So much he's accomplished that the Vu could not, that they dared not, really, in so short a time. And mostly by accident. He treads a path they fear to go down, to even look upon. Do not speak. You have not earned the right to speak. You are still nothing. Rest, little nothing. When the storm passes, your trial shall begin, and we will see the true worth of yourself at your core, if there is any to be found.
And so it is. Our time together has once more come to a close. I hope each and every one of you enjoyed the tale as much as I have the telling of it. As always, I've been your purposeful host, Lothran, and this was Fleet Part 41, Dreary Welcome, another tale right from the heart of the Jakuls. And now, we must once again part ways. Korvoth, guide them back along the proper path, back to the safety they know all too well.
Yes, sir, Lothran. Oh my, the Kasseri Cauldron sounds like a terrible place to visit. I don't want to go there ever. Back to my work. A pleasant greeting and a fond farewell to each and all. Please leave all your comments, questions, and kindnesses down below. Don't you let me catch a single one of you leaving any of that mean, rude, or terrible stuff, though. I got my eye on you. You keep all that junk to yourselves. Got it? Remember to like, share, and subscribe to help us learn, spread, and grow. Oh, excuse me. Supper was good. Remember, I already did that. I'm doing stuff wrong. Oh, my bad. And don't forget that we strongly encourage each and every one of you to stay safe out there. See you again tomorrow for Fleet Part 42. Right? 42? Yeah, 42. Okay. I'm a bit off today. Ugh, it's so bad. I think Cam might be trying to forge a warrior out of Vilivin. If he stays alive through the cauldron, I mean. That's probably not gonna happen. Okay, good night and good luck, everybody. You need it. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.